So, okay, so do you mean the opposite of keto? So, ketogenic diet is high fat, low carb, almost non existent carb. So, it's just really a lot of fats, a lot of proteins. Now, do you mean if the opposite of that is good, meaning high carbs and high protein with very little fat? Yes, that works totally fine too. Okay, but it is equally as an extreme as the ketogenic diet, meaning that it might work for certain people, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody. So the people who fall into really high carb and really high protein but very little fat are often competitive bodybuilders because they try to eat so much throughout the day that if they eat too high a degree of fat intake, it's so slow digesting it'll make them not hungry. So they tend to eat diets really high in carbs and really high in protein so that way they can get all their calories in. But again, that's an extreme population. It will work for some, but it won't work for most. So just as ketogenic diets is an extreme thing, you wouldn't want to be extreme on the other end either. So as with most things in life, not all, okay, but most things in life, you're going to find a balance somewhere in the middle that fits you best. And that's what you want to look for. Is make sure you have your overall total calories addressed correctly, podcast 153. Make sure you have your protein addressed correctly, podcast 33. Then the rest of your calories don't really matter whether it comes from carbs or fats. You eat that depending on however you feel. If you eat higher fats and you feel good, great. If you eat high carbs and you feel good, great. If you split them 50-50 and you feel good, great. Doesn't really matter, okay? So there are some differences, absolutely, between carbs and fats, but in general, they're energy nutrients. You just eat however much of them you need for at the moment you're at based on whatever energy you need, okay? So that is a little breakdown. That went a little longer than I thought it would, but that's a breakdown for Brandon, and hopefully there were some lessons in there for everybody else. So I think it's fun to just kind of look at, here are some specifics, but how do they apply back to the general truths that we already know exist? That's our goal, okay? Always just stay the course, stay with the stuff that makes the most common sense. Don't go into the crazy extremes and crazy fads. Just stay right down the middle. Eat healthy food when you need it. Eat less food when you don't. Just kind of do normal human being, like what we should do behaviors, not what's easy and convenient and what our lazy self wants to do, okay? So hopefully this helps. If you guys like the idea of case studies, feel free to email me yours. If we get a good response, I'll keep doing this kind of stuff. So the podcast is really, totally, truly meant to be whatever the heck you guys want it to be. So if you're taking the time to invest in to listen to this, then I promise you that I want it to be something that's of value to you. For me to do the best job, I need to know what you find valuable. So please, always, always, always give us feedback. I'm so happy to hear and so excited when I get emails because it makes me lets me know that at least somebody's listening to this craziness. So, but yes, if you have any suggestions or if there's anything you would find helpful, please let us know. I promise I want this to be a good thing for you, and I want this to be time well invested in your life. Cool. So if you like the podcast, please share it with family and friends. The more people we help, the happier the world will be. Also, if you like the information, you can find more from us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Brutal Iron Gym. And if you have any questions, feedback, or suggestions, like I said, we'd be happy to hear from you. We'd love to hear from you. The podcast is for you, so we know what you want to learn about. And you can tell us at our email at brutalirongym@gmail.com. As always, I hope this was helpful, and thank you for listening.